Hey Josh, what am I looking at here?
Oh, it's the script for the next video, for Ant-Man.
This isn't what I wrote. Looks like a complete overhaul of my script. Did you not like it?
Listen, here's the thing. I read it, and I hated it. Like, a lot.
Wow. That's super harsh. Did you not like a certain part of it, or what part?
All of it. First off, said he's an everyman. It's pretty boring. Second, Ant-Man has awesome shrinking abilities. Do you have shrinking abilities, Joe? I don't think so.
That's not what I meant.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm looking at you right now, and I see that you're the exact same size.
Whatever. Okay, so this is what you want to do instead?
Yeah. Pretty sweet, right?
It's not even a script. It's just drawings of you and Ant-Man punching zombie Nazis. Then you link to a 20-minute video of explosions in Michael Bay movies?
Yeah. Listen, Joe, I don't write scripts anymore, alright? Just going by vibes now.
Josh and I aren't seeing eye to eye on this one, which is... it's cool. Totally cool. I'm cool with all of this. Nothing's wrong. But just for fun, we're each presenting our own take. Hooray! And this week we're talking about Ant-Man. With Quantumania hitting theaters, we want to look at Marvel's smallest Avenger.
Joe wanted to do some kind of boring video this week, and I was like, sure, whatever, do your thing, just do it over there. But I'm not going to let people be deprived out of my take on this awesome character. Some of you might be thinking, especially after seeing Quantumania, what's so great about Ant-Man anyways? Others of you might be thinking, Josh, my mom thinks that you're cooler than me. Is that true? The answer to that question is yes, your mom is right. But Ant-Man is way more than some lame bug-themed hero. Sometimes he's a ninja, invisible, sneaking around in the night and pulling off heists, and tearing guys up with his intense miniature punches. But then some dude might show up and is immune to his shrinky-dinky powers, and they're like, I'm gonna stomp you, but Ant-Man's like, nuh-uh, cause I'm a kaiju now, and he swats him down like Godzilla. Also, Ant-Man is the only hero of the Avengers that can fight Thanos solo. All he has to do is shrink down, and then he has to just crawl right into Thanos's...
But even though he has amazing powers, what makes Ant-Man so fun is how relatable he is. In the MCU, there's space gods, super soldiers, sorcerers supreme, and even talking trees.
I'm Groot. I'm Groot. I'm Groot. I am Groot.
And even though there's a ton of regular humans with no special powers, almost all of them are super geniuses or some of the best trained people in the universe. And there's Scott Lang, who can't even hold a job down at Baskin Robbins. And that's what makes him amazing. I'm Joe Rennis.
My name's Josh Taylor.
This is Modern Mouse. And today we're going to talk about how Ant-Man is the everyman Avenger.
And today we're going to be talking about why Ant-Man f***ing kicks so much ass.
Will I be there when the Avengers need me? Absolutely. I'd never turn my back on them. But right now, the only job I want is being a dad.
Debuting in 1962, the original Ant-Man was Hank Pym, as portrayed by Michael Douglas in the MCU. His first comic began as more of a science adventure story, along the lines of The Incredible Shrinking Man. But Stan Lee thought it'd be fun to continue his story as a superhero, having him build his helmet and special suit to become more of a full-fledged adventurer, instead of a tiny scientist guy running away from giant bugs. Just a year after becoming a hero, he became a founding member of a little team called the Avengers, alongside his then-girlfriend, Janet Van Dyne, or the Wasp. What makes this
boring science schmience? I'm not gonna get into all that nerdy talk, alright? Let's be real. I didn't read any comics growing up. I spent my weekends skateboarding to Blockbuster in my Jinko jeans, looking for the latest N64 game as I was slurping down 6 packs of Surge.
Surge! It's a fully loaded Super Soda!
I couldn't have comics cramping my style, but maybe I was a little bit wrong here. These comic panels, yeah, they look cool. I mean, just look at him, riding an ant like a boss over here. He's flying around with an entire miniature army. And if an ant isn't quick enough, he hits up his buddy Hawkeye for an aero Uber. I can't decide if it's cooler to be on an arrow or to fly into battle on the back of your trusty ant. Shrinky powers are cool, but nothing is quite as bad as this. Staring down a gun bigger than your entire body, armed with nothing but 4 ants? Iron Man needs a whole suit of armor and 1,000 space lasers to deal with crime. What a flex. And when he's done playing miniature, he turns giant and starts stepping on everything. Go, Giant Man, go. Then wait, oh, what? What the hell is this?
Given his history, Marvel made a really good call to make the MCU version Scott Lang. Hank Pym had some issues, including being a total dick.
I broke my own rule to do some research, and checking out the OG AntMan, he really sucks.
In addition to abuse, Hank Pym dealt with insecurity and rapidly changing personas. He went by Giant Man, Ant-Man, Goliath, Yellow Jacket, the Wasp, even Ultron. In recent comics,
he's dead. He merged with Ultron, which does look cool actually. So Paul Rudd is the better Ant-Man because he's not a dick and he's still alive.
Wasn't until 1979 that Scott Lang first debuted. Just like the MCU, he was a reformed thief who stole the Ant-Man suit. In the comics, his daughter, Cassie Lang, was sick and he needed a suit to save a scientist who could cure her. And afterwards, Hank, who was using the Yellow Jacket persona at the time, told Scott to keep the suit as long as he used it for good. With that, Scott's more or less been Ant-Man ever since, with frequent appearances over the last 40 years. And in 2015, with the release of the movie, he finally got to be in his own series.
Hi, I'm Scott.
Did he just say, hi, I'm Scott?
What are you doing here? First off, I'm a big fan. Appreciate it. So who the hell are you? I'm Ant-Man.
He punches, he kicks, he's Paul Rudd. What else do you want from a superhero? Listen, a lot of the heroes in the MCU are bad. I'd know, because game recognizes game. But most of these people are just straightforward good guys. My guy Scott Rudd, he gives you a heist movie, he steals to save the day, he steals the Ant-Man suit, plans to steal the bad guy's Shrinky suit. Paul Lang even steals the girl at the end of the first movie. Even when they put him in an Avengers movie, once he shows up in Endgame with all the other heroes, he gets the entire group together for a full-blown time heist. It's like a sci-fi fantasy Ocean's 11, but Paul Rudd is actually George Clooney. I mean, it's kind of like that, but more purple dudes.
I am inevitable.
Hey, are you guys gonna get to the part where I'm involved? Because the story's boring without me.
Who invited Barry?
I invited Barry. I think he's rad as hell. Plus, we didn't put together like a previously on portion for this video. I thought people might be interested in what we've been up to.
You and your weird puppet friends, sure. Okay, go ahead, Barry.
Okay. So, a few months ago, Josh got some mysterious phone calls and you thought it was YouTube. Then Josh told Joe that they needed to change the format of the videos here on Modern Mouse because YouTube was mad. And Joe was like, okay, let's do it. And Josh was like, alright, bet. Then in order to get some work done, Josh went to a cabin in the woods, but it wasn't like that movie Cabin in the Woods because it wasn't really that funny. It was more like Freaky Friday where you get a few chuckles, but it's not actually that great of a movie. So then Josh thought the mysterious caller was actually going to be Lindsay Lohan instead of YouTube, but it wasn't. Then it was Christmas, so you did some kind of weird episode about Rudolph and like bass fishing or something, and then Josh was like, Christmas is all about Pinocchio! Which is a weird conclusion to come to. But then Joe was like, that makes total sense! It's a Christmas miracle! So then Josh rode that ride at Disneyland, and then he went to a museum where he learned a lot about Pinocchio, and then they figured out that there was too many Pinocchio movies. Then Joe was like, can I get all sappy and talk about being a dad? And Josh was like, that makes sense! I'll visit an aquarium to talk about Finding Nemo! But that was just a stupid excuse to just like dick around. Then they thought they would talk about the Muppets, so they hired me, and I'm still here waiting for my paycheck. But these guys are so cheap because they haven't even paid me yet. And now they're talking about Batman or something? Ugh, Batman.
It's great, Barry. I've got to go though. I'm seeing a new Ant-Man movie in like 10 minutes, so talk to Josh about paying you.
Nope. Also going to the movies. So, Barry, just talk to my agent.
You don't have an agent.
All right, I've made it to my local theater, and I'm going in to see this dumb Ant-Man movie. Because Joe thought it'd be a good idea that we both go see it at the same time. Interestingly, I've been noticed at this theater several times. People have been like, you're famous, you're famous. Whatevsies. But I do want to shout out, the other day, not at this theater, I was at a restaurant at Disneyland, and somebody came up and said they loved the videos. I know that you don't mean Joe, you don't mean Barry, you just meant me. So, thank you. It means a lot to me that you love me and just me. But I'm gonna go in to see Ant-Man now and give you my thoughts afterwards. We'll probably talk to Joe or something. What a nerd he is, huh?
It was awesome. It's everything you wanted. Scott Lang is the perfect Ant-Man. If you're a fan of the series, I highly recommend it. Can't give any spoilers away, but if you Scott Lang fans are going to enjoy it, you're going to have a good time. Definitely go see the movie. It was awesome.
All right, so I saw it. I wasn't going to record the film or anything. I'm not a monster. But Ant-Man asks the important questions, like, would you stick your hand in this? Or what if you could be friends with germs? I like that.
As great as Scott Lang is in the comics, he's even better in the MCU. I wasn't kidding about the Baskin-Robbins thing. One of the things that truly sets Scott Lang apart is he's just about the only hero who seems worried about actual pay-the-bills employment. Everyone else is incredibly wealthy or simply sees being a hero as their job, and the money thing just figured itself out. Does being the Sorceress Supreme come with dental insurance? Theoretically, a good chunk of them are ultra-elite military contractors, and that's still miles away from trying and failing to secure an entry-level food service job. By the end of the first movie, Scott is more or less in the being a hero is my job category, but he only got into the hero game by trying to make money. Also, Scott is one of the very few heroes to have a kid, and Cassie is a major source of his motivations. Having a kid definitely makes him more relatable to some. More than that, though, simply having a family be what drives him is actually pretty unique in the MCU. While many heroes have loved ones they protect in the films, they mostly save the world because that's just who they are. Paul Rudd actually took the role because he didn't want to play someone who was just a natural hero or larger than life. He really liked the idea of playing someone who just wanted to be a good parent. The MCU is full of fun characters, some of whom are truly inspiring. Scott Lang is someone who makes mistakes, tries to do the right thing, and when given the opportunity, might actually be a pretty amazing hero. And that's what makes him the most relatable Avenger.
Okay, yeah, he has a kid, he has responsibilities, but he's one of the few heroes that gets to explore the freaky deaky world of the quantum realm. It's like that Disney movie Strange World, but instead of everyone complaining about how bad the advertising was, they're gung-ho on how cool the atmosphere is. And my boy Scotty Lang Lang isn't afraid to be there, despite the things that old spouse abuser said. He's not going to listen to a man that hits women, okay? He's going to listen to his intuition, he's going to ride an ant, and he's going to go into that quantum realm guns blazing. He's going to walk in there, look fear in the face, and say, hey, I'm Ant-Man, and I f***ing own this place, okay? So to anybody who hates Scott Lang, you're wrong. His ex-lovers are wrong, the prison is wrong, half of the Avengers are wrong, and as far as Baskin-Robbins is concerned, well, Baskin Robbins. I prefer gelato anyways.
Yeah, Baskin Robbins sucks. I mean, they have 31 flavors, and like, what's wrong with chocolate, guys? Chocolate is fine. But hey, you guys didn't even talk about Batman. And not to mention, you didn't pay me still. You guys are amateurs, you know? What the f-
Oh, hey, you're still here. If this was a Marvel movie, this would be where the second post-credit scene would be. You'd probably gasp or clap or something, so if you made it this far into the video, leave a comment that says, "Don't be a dick."